Hi y'all, welcome back to my channel, Southern Tea. It's the girl Lady J, back bringing you, my usual, my commentary on the latest if female rap and urban news. But before I get into my commentary, I'm gonna need you to go ahead and hit that thumbs up, comments, share, and since you're here, baby, subscribe to my channel. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So I want to start off with Miss Iggy Azalea, because it has been reported that she has sold her publishing and her masters, to all of her past music to a company by the name of Domain Capital for an alleged whopping 8 figures, child. Okay. So she sold masters for her songs like Fancy, Problem, and Black Widow, all of which were big hits back in 2014. And even her album, The New Classic, and her latest album, The End of an Era, which, she dropped last year. So let me know how y'all feel about that. Now, I see a lot of people on social media don't really see why or understand why Iggy would want to sell, her share of her masters and all of her music, because, it's basically, her music, all her music. I see people saying, oh, she's retiring anyway. She probably just want to be comfortable, taken care of, don't want to work anymore. And I even see some people saying that her bag is getting low. However, I just want to clarify and bring up the fact that Iggy is very much, still into music. She isn't really retiring as of yet, because we did see a few weeks ago or a month or two ago, it was announced that she is working with Tory Lanez for her upcoming project. So maybe the selling of her masters is to help fund the budget of her upcoming era, because as of now, Iggy is independent. So she won't really be getting a push from a label this new era. So she gonna need some coins to put behind, some music videos, production, pushing songs to the radio, paying people for collaborations. She just gonna need some money. So this is probably her way of securing those funds to do those things. Now, the downside is other people are now going to be making money off of her music, which, a lot of artists already have that problem, so perhaps later down the line, Iggy can somehow buy her music back. But 8 figures is a lot of money, so hopefully Iggy has already done the math with her max budget for this project, because sis definitely want to have money left over to live, because, she won't really be making money off of her past music anymore since she sold the publishing. But I'm sure Iggy has already talked it over with her tax or financial advisor, but let me know your thoughts on it down below. Now, the next topic I want to get into is Kash Doll getting her ass dragged for dry ass trying to shade Nicki Minaj, even though she tried to cop a plea and act like it was all an accident, child. So the other day, fans brought up the fact that Kash Doll retweeted an old interview of her being interviewed by the weirdo Jason Lee. And in the clip, he basically told her that Nicki's husband was a sex offender. And when fans called out Kash Doll, she deleted the retweet and said, "I really didn't mean to do that, y'all. I made a damn mistake. Please don't bother me. I don't feel like that shit." Now, Kash Doll tried to go so far as to prove that she did not retweet the tweet by, or she did not purposely retweet the tweet by releasing text messages of, I guess, one of her friends letting her know that she liked a shady tweet about Nicki Minaj. But my thing is, even if she liked the tweet on accident, these text messages between her and her friend are very apparent about how Kash Doll and her friend feel and how they speak and talk about Nicki Minaj, because her friend, still referred to Kenneth as quote unquote her sex offender husband. So her friend specifically says, "You retweeted something about Nicki's sex offender husband." So how do you feel comfortable even releasing text messages that basically expose you for being a hating ass, ill-informed ass bitch? Okay, you trying to defend yourself while at the same time exposing yourself. Like, make that make sense, sis. This was done for clout, so cut the bullshit. Let's keep it a buck. When fans called her out and started calling her scared of Nicki, Kash Doll said this: "Not scared, just very much rather not be in drama or talk about something I don't know nothing about." Now, bitch, cut the bullshit. You just sat your ass up here and said you'd rather not be in drama, but retweeted a tweet that would entice and start drama. Okay, make it make sense. You said you'd rather not talk about some shit you don't know nothing about, but you sitting up here spreading the narrative that Nicki's husband is a sex offender by releasing this messy ass text message thread. Like, I'm so sick of these bitches throwing stones and hiding their hands. Beyonce said it. It's a whole lot of playing victim and villain at the same damn time. Like, you can't tell me she thought it was smart to release these messages to defend her line ass. Like, these bitches get a little bit too comfortable with the disrespect towards the queen. And I don't want to hear shit when Nicki slides her ass on a song. It better not be no, oh, she's bitter, or oh, she's dry coming for her. Nah. Remember this shit. Bitches want to be funny? Well, the bitch get drugged. Don't pick up the bitch, okay? It is what it is. When she get drugged, don't pick up the bitch. There was no reason for this. Kash Doll needed a quick trending moment, and she got it. That's what you call a real lapdog doing shit for treats. Okay, words to Duckleys. But what I'm gonna need, our Keisha to go do is write a hit. Because I don't know when the last time Kash Doll even seen Billboard bumbling under charts, for that matter, child. But let me know your thoughts on that below. Now, my next topic I want to get into is Cardi B and Glorilla. So Cardi and Glo recently performed at the AMAs on Sunday, and a lot of people actually liked their performance, okay? I don't think it was anything spectacular, but it was a cute moment for the awards, and I know it was a special moment for Glorilla, so it was a cute performance. Now, Cardi didn't perform anything else that night. She didn't even perform the song she released only a few short months ago, Cold Shit, because it went cold, okay? As y'all know, that shit fell off the charts after, a few weeks and never even touched the top 10, although she swear that's where her records live, okay? Anyway, I'll bring that up to further prove my point I made on my last video when I let y'all know that I felt like Cardi is basically riding Glorilla's wave right now because Glorilla was hot, okay? Glorilla is in demand, Glorilla is getting pushed, and Cardi sees that her hype has died down or simmered down a little bit in my opinion. So it just comes across to me as if she's riding Glorilla's wave to draw focus back to her and, to make her be back in the conversation again and in discussions and topics when it comes to, Cardi and the music business. Because let's be honest, when it comes to her music, nobody's really talking about Cardi B's music, But this Tomorrow 2, record, people are really feeling Cardi's verse, that she had gotten written for her by Party. She's been releasing remixes and released a single with two of the most popular hip-hop artists in music right now, and still people are not really checking for Cardi B like that, because let's keep it a buck. If they were checking for her, Hot Shit would still be somewhere on Billboard. Okay, let's be honest. I mean, Super Freaky Girl only was released a month after Cold Shit, and Super Freaky Girl is sitting pretty at number 11 on Billboard right now after being in the top 10 for the past 3 months. I mean, Doja Cat's Vegas was released back in May, the video back in June, and it's still number 18 on the Hot 100 right now. So, Cardi's records live in the top 10 supposedly, so I just don't get it. What's her excuse? She had two big artists on that song. It should be no reason why it's not still somewhere on the Billboard Hot 100 right now, at least on Bubbling Under, okay? So like I said, the hype isn't there anymore, which is why she needs Glorilla, in my opinion, and why the Tomorrow 2 record is helping to get Cardi back relevant as far as it pertains to her music, okay? Let's talk about it. And this performance was needed to help with Cardi's rollout because, as we saw the other day, Billboard announced that Cardi is getting ready to release her second album early next year. So she needed a hot song or a verse that would at least get her back in the conversation of music, and the Tomorrow 2 record did that. But nevertheless, the performance was cute, but let me know what you think about it below. Now, speaking of Glorilla, it's being speculated in the streets that allegedly Glorilla only sold 12 pure copies of her EP she dropped last week. Now, y'all know I love me some Glo, but why is y'all playing with my sis like this? Okay, I'm gonna need y'all to stop. I'm calling cap until I see some actual factual numbers somewhere. Stop playing on her head top. I know you fucking lying. Okay, y'all just had a new artist pop out y'all city, Memphis. Okay, y'all ain't supporting Glorilla Hallelujah Woods out here allegedly. Okay, come on now. On top of that, it doesn't seem as if none of her songs from her EP will be charting next week, but we will see. That's just how it's looking right now. So Glorilla is getting this push from her label in the industry, and yet and still the sales are not allegedly aligning with the internet support. Okay, but we'll see how real that is. I don't really believe that. I think she at least did 1,000, but we'll see in a few days, I guess, when some reliable source actually posted. But let me know what y'all think about that below. So my next topic I want to get into is Saweetie. So Saweetie did a recent interview, and she mentioned how female rappers are quote unquote running rap because the niggas got too much disrespect and violence going on in their music. So this is what she actually said.
Have you noticed like the turn in like the city, just kind of like things getting a little crazier out here? I mean, I think it's getting publicized a lot. Like there's always been shit happening in LA, obviously, but it feels like just like.
I mean, LA and other cities, it just goes to show that this is the reason why women is running, rap and hip hop, because there's just so much violence and disrespect in the male music. You got to think, like, remember when, what was that, like 16, 17, Remember when like YG, Tyga, Chris was out? It was like fun.
Big Sean.
Big Sean. It was fun party.
Right.
T-Fly.
Yeah.
But it was like fun party music. It wasn't like, I'm going to do this to you and this, you know?
Right.
So it's like, I feel like we got to raise the vibration with the music and get back to having a good time.
Yeah.
Now, I see where Saweetie was trying to go here, but let's keep it a buck. Let's be real. These bitches' numbers is a little bit too low when it comes to sales for them to be running any motherfucking thing, okay? Let's get that straight for one. They get in their raps written, allegedly. They out here with these flop-ass albums, losing fan-voted awards, so I wouldn't go so far as to say the females is just running shit, but they are definitely making more noise than their male counterparts, in my opinion. However, more noise does not always equate to more success or quote-unquote running shit. So I see where Saweetie was trying to go with this, but these bitches, they ain't running shit, okay? They ain't even running their goddamn selves. So now Saweetie also responded to Joe Budden yesterday because he said that he wants Saweetie to address the offbeat rumor since, you know, she did all that digging and dissing that little baby and Quavo. Joe Budden basically said it was bad timing, which is the same thing I said, you know, as far as it pertains to her releasing this EP of hers. However, at the same time, I can also acknowledge the fact that Saweetie has been quiet the past 9 months, and she has a right to use her voice to speak up for herself when she is ready and put it in her music. And, you know, she did just that. However, the consequence is the backlash and responses that she received from a lot of people because Takeoff was just buried last week, and that's just the consequence to her responding in this time right now. So Saweetie had this to say in response to Joe. Saweetie needs to shut the fuck up. Okay, Jolisha. You know, basically calling him a bitch, in my opinion, because nigga, why you steady speaking on women's business and getting at it with a woman? You know, you know, y'all know Joe is just very sassy, okay? He's a sassy ass man. So Joe Budden was being a misogynistic gaslighter per usual, and basically said that Saweetie needs to shut the fuck up unless she's gonna address if she slept with Offbeat or not. But, you know, I can kind of understand him only in the sense that, you know, it's a bold and a big claim to say something like Saweetie slept with Offbeat. Something like that does need to be addressed, in my opinion, especially when it's involving someone else's marriage and reputation, let alone your own reputation and being tied to that. So I do think Saweetie should address the rumors because it does her no justice, you know, to not say anything and to continue to let people speculate and spin the narrative in a way that best suits their story and make Saweetie look like a goddamn fool, because not saying nothing is actually saying a lot. So she needs to speak up because, you know, at least she wants people, or she should want people to know that the title of a homewrecker is not hers to wear, okay? Especially since Offbeat is married, and not only is he married, but he's married to her peer. Now, speaking of Saweetie, it is being speculated that, you know, our good sister's EP only sold 2,000 copies. For her sake, I'm hoping that's false. But honestly, I don't think it was smart for Saweetie to do a surprise drop. You know, like, she announced it the same week and dropped it, bitch. You need at least a good long month promotion, bitch. Okay? You are not Beyonce. So I'm hoping that's just a rumor, but, you know, we gonna see, child. But let me know your thoughts on that below. Now, the last topic I want to get into is what had Twitter on one all night, baby. Do you hear me? Okay. So Latte getting everything leaked but her social security, child. Okay. So basically, Lil Latte got exposed for not writing all of her music, which should come as no surprise to no one because Nicki already told us this last month when Latte tried to come for her. Okay. She already told us that Latte got plenty of reference tracks out here, and Nicki was not lying. Now, I see a lot of people saying, oh, writing these days doesn't matter, and oh, a lot of these female rappers are out here getting reference tracks, and oh, having hooks written is different than having your verse written. And yeah, all that is good, all that is gravy, all those things are true. However, those do not apply in Latte's situation, okay? Because for one, she had more than hooks written for her in some of these songs and reference tracks that got leaked, okay? She has publicly, time and time again, in interviews and on social media, bragged about pushing her pen. So Latte's writing in this case does matter because she has stressed the importance of it. And yes, a lot of these rap girls are being passed reference tracks. However, if a nigga wrote your hook, ain't no reason you can't go in the booth and come up with your own lyrics to your verses, okay? So I said it before, I'm gonna say it again. A singer's ability is in their voice. Their talent is in their ability to sing, regardless if they wrote it or not. It's about the delivery. A rapper, on the other hand, their ability or their talent is in their ability to write, to push their pen, to come up with their own bars and punchlines. Because any bitch can be given a piece of paper and told to recite some shit. A 10-year-old can do that. Because if that's all a bitch got to do to be a rapper, what makes someone a rapper these days if they're not writing? Serious question that needs answers. What's the point in being called a rapper if you're not writing your shit? You might as well just be an entertainer if your talent is going to be reciting lyrics in your own way. The fuck? Okay? So Latto's version of Coi Leray's Blick Blick was also included in this massive leak. And what gets me is Coi's verse and Latto's verse are literally the same. Like, literally. Like, nothing was really changed except the last line of Coi's verse. And even then, the change was very small, with only like a few words being changed. So either Latto was used as a reference for Coi, or Latto simply recorded the pre-written song and then passed it on. You know, maybe she didn't want it anymore and it went to Coi. And when Coi got it, she put Nicki on it. But my thing is, why did Coi lie about writing this song? Okay, because if y'all remember when Nicki asked Coi on Instagram Live about her process of writing, you know, is she, you know, how she wrote the hook and shit, Coi Leray was actually acting like she, you know, wrote it.
That's like, how long did it take you to come up with the hook? Did you do the hook first, or did you just start rapping at the top of the beat and then just went into the hook?
Just did the hook first. And then the verse, I don't know. It depends. Like when I'm in the studio, like whatever vibe, I'll get some little drink. You know what I'm saying? Little vibes. I'll be with my peoples because.
So Coi tried to take credit for writing a song she didn't write. So whoever told Nicki that Coi writes only told her that because clearly they knew that's the only way Coi would garner the respect of a Nicki Minaj. Because these bitches know how important it is, you know, to Nicki for rappers to write. And that's the one thing they know they can't beat Nicki at doing, which is why these niggas is in the studio writing they so-called hits. So clearly Latto and Coi ain't writing all their music. They might write a line or two, but clearly these niggas is the one laying down the tracks. And it's hilarious to me because Latto has time and time again claimed to have pushed her pen. Like, these bitches will claim to push their pen because they know it's still important to the OGs and know it'll get their respect. But in reality, they ain't really, you know, writing like that. Because Coi and Latto's version of Blick Blick is literally the same thing, okay? Argue with your mama. I say the only difference is at the tail end is a few words were swapped out in Coi's version. So Coi caught wind of all the rah-rah on Twitter and she went live to basically stick her foot in her ass because she basically just went on to admit that she didn't write the shit and that she, you know, don't pass up on songs presented to her, and that she makes the songs her own, even though her and Latto's version of Blick Blick were literally the same thing. So this is what Coi had to say.
Latto, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. It's fucked up. It's foolish. There's a lot of hard work that a lot of people put into the music. Not only the artists, but the producers, and you know, for people to just go and really leak something that's precious to someone is just corny. But I'm here to speak for myself, and I do want to give a little education real quick. First of all, Huddy, No Letting Up, Added, and I'm looking at notes, by the way. I have my notes because I had to really make sure I, you know, make sure I have what I want to say very clear. So Huddy, No Letting Up, Added, Did It, No More Parties, fucking Twinning Them, Big Purr, Involved, I my whole album. I mean, every single feature written by me. So I know my pen game is super amazing. Thank you to all my supporters. And if you will see my studio, my recording process, because I have a lot going on. I have a lot to show y'all. I know y'all probably been like, what's Coi been doing? But just don't worry. I have something for you. And you'll get to see my recording process and how it works. But I also want to say shout out to some amazing writers like Kane, A1, Aaron, Felly, Jazz Fresh, and there's so many more people. But yeah, these what you guys need to understand is timeless music is not created. Like, you can't create it by yourself. I mean, you can, because a lot of people do. But if you look at some of the biggest records in the world, for example, Michael Jackson Thriller, that was written by Rod Temperton. He's a British man, soulful brother. And yeah, it's one of the greatest songs in the world. And again, I am listing icons and I'm educating you guys on something because I feel like this is important and the music industry needs to get a little shift a little bit to understand, you know, music and like real music, timeless music. And you probably all like saying here, like, well, not all of y'all, but y'all probably like, oh, whatever. What do you know? But trust me, I'm super talented and you can fucking see, you can check the charts, you can check my numbers, but I know what I'm talking about. Trust me, you will see. Whitney Houston, I Will Always Love You, written by Dolly Parton. Big record, one of the biggest records in the world. Again, icon. The Dream, wrote Umbrella, Rihanna. Single Ladies, Beyonce. This does not discredit, and Pooh Bear, another amazing writer, legend. This does not discredit none of these icons and these artists.
Now, you can let me know what you think about all that bullshit below. For one, it just kills me that she used the likes of Whitney, Beyonce, Michael Jackson, and Rihanna to try to prove her point about artists having others write, you know, their biggest hits as if any of them are rappers to begin with. Bitch, who cares if singers get songs written for them? They're called singers. Their talent is in their ability to sing. We don't give a fuck who wrote it. But when it comes to you so-called rap bitches, y'all ain't writing when you're supposed to be rappers. Rappers write, not recite. So you use them for no reason because none of those examples are valid in this scenario. I really just can't believe she had half a ball to compare herself to someone on the level of a Jay-Z and Kanye West when this wasn't even about Jay-Z or Kanye West. The issue was Koyo and Latte having the same version of Blick Blick, and instead of Koyo addressing that overtly and just admitting that she didn't write it and lied to Nicki Minaj and that, you know, she sometimes gets reference tracks that she may or may not cut up, is the fact that she just diverted to other people to try and prove a point that she has yet to prove because she made herself look like more of a fraud, in my opinion. Because not only are you not owning up to writing a lot of your music, you're not owning up to the fact that you lied to Nicki Minaj to garner her respect, and in doing so took credit for something that was not your own when you claimed ain't nobody fucking with your pen game. Girl, bye. Now, Koyo also took to her Twitter to further explain herself when fans began to question who wrote Blick Blick and why her version and Latte's were basically the same, and this is what Koyo had to say. I'm sick this happened to her, you know, her being Latte, like sick, but this is my first time finding out she cut the record. I didn't know. If you listen to hers and mine's, we're using a lot of different words. No you wasn't, bitch. Okay, y'all was using the same shit. I heard that. It was the same verse, okay? But she went on to say this. I didn't record it with Nicki. I wasn't the one who reached out to her. It was through the label. However, she received it and delivered it. I have no clue. I just knew the song was a smash. I don't gotta lie, I play a part in the writing process. Check the credits. Nicki went and congratulated all the writers on her last award speech. You gotta be dumb to not know what goes on in the studio. No, she didn't. Okay, let's pause. I don't like how she did that. Bitch, you swinging and fighting for your life to try to prove what we already know. You don't be fucking writing all your shit, bitch. Say that and move on. I don't like that she trying to make it seem as if Nicki is also using these same writers that her and all these other no talent ass rap bitches have. Like, just because she thanked a few of them for writing hooks, and first of all, she didn't even thank the writers. She was honoring the people and thanking the people who were by her side from her, you know, come up all the way up until now. You know, not her writing her full on fucking verses. Okay, so don't try to play in Nicki face like that just because you get your shit written, bitch. Okay, don't do Nicki. Okay, don't play on her face because people dragging your ass because you was exposed for not writing one of your highest charting songs. Okay, so don't use this moment to jump at your opportunity to mention Nicki Minaj to help promote your flop ass song you got dropping next week. Let's keep it a buck. Okay, so Koyo went on to say this. Okay, my best friend records every single studio session. I don't gotta say too much. You will see what's up. My XXL freshman style wasn't even thought of. However, I took my time with No More Parties. Twin Them, Big Purr, DDG record, Calvin Harris record, Fabio record. Come on, I wrote all those myself. My entire album, Huddy, No Letting Up, Add It Up, Big Dogs, Feature Trippy. And when it comes to writers, I'm down to collab with any writer because that's what creators do. Shout out to all the amazing writers are in. Jazzy, Fresh, A1, Felly, Big A, Skis, Teller, Chop, Kane, Aaron, Pooh Bear, Legend, and so many more. So basically, she naming all the niggas who wrote for her before and all these other rap bitches, you know. That's basically what she's saying. This is all the name of the pens or the people who push their pen for the rap girls that they keep in rotation. Okay, cool. So she went on to say this. I'm signed to Republic Records, the greatest of all time. We are coming stronger than ever. May the best song win. Like, okay, yeah, bitch, that's cool. You still didn't write Blick Blick, but fronted like you did when Nicki asked you. Okay, so move on. Now, Latte's version of Whole Lotta Money was leaked as well. And though the hook and chorus was the same as Bia's version, Latte's verses were different than Bia's. So it's safe to conclude that the person who wrote the hook for Whole Lotta Money presented it to Latte first. But Latte must have passed on it and it went to Bia. And Bia, you know, went in and wrote her verses to the song, which is a common practice in the hip hop industry, I will admit, because rappers are good at writing their lyrics and bars, but not really at actually writing songs that are consistent of hooks, choruses, and bridges. That's where actual songwriters come into play. So, you know, I will give Bia the benefit of the doubt for now because her verses were completely different. And Bia did go on to clear up the confusion when it comes to her pen game, because when a fan was asking if Latte wrote the song, Bia responded and said this. No, London J wrote the hook. I wrote the pre and the verse. It's not rocket science. Well, bitch, we don't know. That's what we asking. Bia then went on to say this on Twitter. Writing credits, you know, you can check those. Now stop playing. But not too much on this because I really don't care who writes and who doesn't. I only care about making the best song I can make. Now Bia, bitch. You know you know that you care about writing because by them tweets you was liking on your Twitter, you definitely care about pushing that pen, baby girl. Let's stop the bullshit, okay? And last year, you was the one on your live with Nicki, when y'all teamed up for a Whole Lotta Money remix. You know, you was the one being shady to the girls because you was a ghostwriter for a few of them, okay? Let's not forget. So save that We Are the World shit for someone else, baby, trying to help save Latte's ass, okay? I love Bia down, but bitch, don't get up here acting like it's basically cool for Latte to not write her own shit because you cool with the bitch, okay? Especially when you also spoke on the importance of rappers pushing their own pen. I hate when these bitches try to double down like that, okay? So Bia kind of got my side eye right now, but let me know what y'all think about that below. Now, Latte did seemingly respond after being silent all day while the internet was having a field day with that ass listening to her reference tracks. So Latto reposted a tweet to her Instagram that she had tweeted a month ago in response to Nicki Minaj when they had got into it on Twitter. So what she had reposted was the tweet that she had tweeted that said this. I'll post it my goddamn self. They'll all tell you I write too. I heard a few of your refs before they came out too, boo. You forgot we all collab with the same writers. Difference is I don't deny it. The world see me writing on national TV though since 16. Which bitch, either way, you didn't write Big Energy and recited Blick Blick word for word before it was passed to Coy because she recited it better allegedly. So it don't matters a goddamn difference what you talking about, baby, okay? Now my thing is, where is Nicki's reference tracks? Okay, you claim to have heard them. Well, my love, where in the fuck are they? She, you know, been in the game over 12 years. We have yet to hear a reference, boo. Okay, so I'd love to hear that. Just because you agreed to use the labels writers don't mean that she had to. Okay, so Latte went on to like a post that said, that pen been pushing P at Latto. Don't play with my faith, play with yours. And of course, with this tweet was a video of Latte seemingly writing some gibberish in a journal. Now, Latte did catch some heat when she posted her old tweets to her Instagram, you know, she made in response to Nicki Minaj because the Shade Room comments was not on her side, child. You know, a lot of people felt like she was, you know, trying to bring Nicki Minaj into it and that she was trying to poke the bear. And, you know, a lot of people were trying to say that Latte can't be mad if Nicki responds and drags her. So in response to the backlash, Latte liked the tweet that said this. Latte didn't mention Nicki to start mess. She wanted to show the tweet where she says she has no problem admitting they all share writers. Which I'm calling bullshit because Nicki don't use writers once again. Matter of fact, she turned down several recording deals starting out because she wasn't trying to use my writer. I remember that. So these girls get me trying to use Nicki Minaj's name to try to divert heat off of they hot ass and try to bait her into responding so she can look like a bully and they can play victim. Like, you had such an issue with Nicki using your song as an example when it came to the Grammy nominations. But now you want to use a tweet that was in relation to her. You want to use that to prove your still last point, which has yet to be proven. You know, bitch, I got a problem with you using Nicki Minaj to prove your point because of how y'all left off. How about that? Ain't that what she said when Nicki used her song as an example for the Grammys? Well, let's keep the same energy. Okay, Lil energy. Because, bitch, you may use them writers, but not on Nika Tanya. So my thing is, why can't the majority of these mainstream rap bitches write their own shit? Question that's me answering, okay? If they ain't writing, then what are they? A cute face with a BBL ass who can recite words from time to time? I don't get it. I don't like how y'all trying to act like writing is not an important factor when it comes to this hip hop shit. You can't call yourself a rapper if you just reading the words of someone else, okay? And then these bitches got the nerve to brag about pushing a pen when they ain't even writing half they shit. It's one thing to not write and be open about it, but to brag about pushing your pen when you're not half the time is what makes you look corny, baby. Like, you literally had a man write your biggest song to date. All this griping ass shit you did over this record, you ain't even write it. Like, that is what gets me. Like I said, this is where a lot of, you know, her anger or her frustration is misplaced. All of her energy is really into this situation. This is where her energy is really coming from when it comes to her issue with Nicki Minaj. When her issue needs to be with her goddamn self and her whole team, because what kind of weak ass security do you got where over 100 of your songs is leaking, bitch? Like, you had. So, you know, y'all let me know what y'all think about that. Now, we also see Kash Dolls want to be involved as join the conversation because fans noticed that one of the many songs of Latte's that leaked was a verse Latte did on Kash Doll's Doing Too Much, which was a song she had on her one and only album she dropped back in 2019. It's not like the song was a big deal, but it was one of the few songs that Kash did have a somewhat buzz for. So obviously Latte recorded a verse and was, you know, never added to the song, apparently, from what it looks like. Now, when a fan called out Kash Doll and asked why Latte was never added to the song, lion ass Arkisha caught amnesia and said, "Oh, I didn't hear that before. She probably did that for fun. Love, Latto." Like, bitch. Okay, now, how you ain't know she recorded a whole verse for your goddamn song, and this was over 3 years ago? Girl, if you don't shut your line ass up. Now, when fans called Kash Doll out for her bullshit, Kash Doll replied and said, "I love Latto. Y'all be making something out of nothing. I hate that I have to come here to clear shit up all the time. Latto know what it is." Like, okay, bitch, what it is then, okay? Ain't nobody asking you to clear shit up. You're choosing to respond to trolls and choosing to clear up shit that you want to clear up because people ain't asked you to do shit, bitch, okay? Like, just say you glad to be a part of something and go sit the fuck down, okay? Because who asked for you, Arkisha? Anyway, let me know what y'all thoughts are below. So, you know, how do y'all feel about all of this, though? This whole Latte and the song leaks and all that shit and how she responded. It's just a lot, okay? Personally, I feel like it's a lot of these rap girls in rotation getting these reference tracks passed around. And I think it's a lot of these girls knowingly sharing the same writers and ironically wanting the same respect as that of a Nicki Minaj or a Kendrick or some shit. Like, baby, not only are y'all entitled as the fuck, but y'all can't even write y'all own so-called hits. You got niggas in the studio laying down your weak ass bars. This is what Nicki meant when she said, "Tell your ghostwriter, senorita, oh, you ain't no hoe, ask Wikipedia." Okay, these bitches got the same 3 niggas in the industry writing they shit because London J literally was rapping Latte's lyrics on the Big Energy reference track. Let's get that clear. He was very much rapping her lyrics. Like, come on now. He was literally saying he got a cute face, no waist, and a big old ass. Like, a grown-ass man is saying this shit. I can't make this shit up. He wrote this for a female to say. So, I noticed he also has writing credits on a few songs on Latte's latest album that came out back in March, 777. So, Latte, how many songs of that album did you even write, baby? Okay, so this is just crazy to me. And it's crazy thinking back when Latte got into it with Nicki last month. She claimed that Nicki been having a problem with her since March, when clearly it's the other way around. You saw Nicki hop on 2 songs you had at first while trying to find a song for Nicki to hop on that she fucks with. You up here getting your ghostwriter to write write multiple songs that Nicki will like. Whole time your voice just wasn't doing it for either one of them songs, okay? Because like Koi or not, she sounded way better on Blick Blick than Latte. And Bia definitely did a whole lot of money more justice than what Latte ever could, and I'm standing on that. Because for one, it sounded like Latte was moaning the entire fucking time on both songs, like she was trying to sound sexy or some shit, and it wasn't giving. So it's a Latte that has been feeling some type of way since March, and because of that, has convinced herself that, you know, Nicki tweeted, or when Nicki was tweeting, it was about her. So that's the real root of her issue with Nicki Minaj. And then, you know, when Nicki passed on Big Energy the same month, it probably just added more fuel to Latte's irritation. Either way, she's not pushing P like she's claimed, child. But let me know your thoughts on this time before the read below, child. So remember, this is my commentary, just my opinions. You can let me know yours below. I look forward to reading your thoughts. Don't forget to give this video that thumbs up and hit the subscribe button and lounge me on my socials at Southern T. I will see you in the next video.